for today. And the focus of our show is around the emotional challenges that we are all managing at this very unprecedented time in our history. We are all dealing with a great deal of grief and fear and general angst during this time of coronavirus and basically political and social upheaval. I am fortunate to have my guest today, Lorn Minewiser, PhD. And Lorna is a retired licensed professional counselor who uses energy psychology methods in her coaching and training practice. Lorna holds a PhD in psychology from Saybrook University and an MA in counseling psychology. She is trained in advanced childhood experiences and trauma-informed care, often referred to as ACEs, and attachment theory. Lorna trains practitioners in emotional freedom techniques and other energy psychology methods. And Lorna has been my mentor in the field of emotional freedom techniques, or EFT, often referred to as tapping. And I am grateful that she is here today to have this discussion and share some insights and some tips and tricks in terms of self-regulation, using certain self-care tools to self-regulate when we are triggered or activated or have some emotional challenges that we are dealing with. So, Lorna?
Hi, thanks, Susan. Thank you.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Yes, so as I said, I've been very fortunate, Lorna, that you have been my mentor and colleague in this, my journey through learning about energy psychology and emotional freedom techniques. And we have been, I think you would agree with me, both excited and overwhelmed about the fact that some of these tools, some of these techniques, some of these healing methods are so readily accessible, are so easy to do and easy to implement. And we've been very eager to share them with the world. And so in terms of self-regulation, I thought it would be wonderful if you could share some of your expertise and some information about some things that people can do to help themselves and help their families when they're feeling anxious or overwhelmed, etc.
Oh, I'd be happy to. I've been really, been doing this a long time, and I love to share, the tapping and the energy psychology techniques, and it's made such a difference in my life, and especially right now when everybody is kind of on edge a lot of the time. One of the things that I've been really interested in lately is called polyvagal theory. And what that says is just basically is that we have the sympathetic nervous system, which is our activated fight or flight system. And then we also have a system, the vagus system, where it's a nerve that is at one part is the freeze or flop, the lower part of that nerve is, and the upper part is the rest and digest, tend and befriend. And that's where we would like to spend more time. I mean, obviously, none of us spend all of our time there. But one of the things that I've been learning in the past month and a half is that that sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight system, is being constantly activated now. It's because there is real and perceived threat around us, and so you walk past the television that's on, and they're giving you the coronavirus numbers and the deaths. You read something on your news feed, and it's talking about a political unrest or societal unrest. In some parts of the country and in the world, on particular days, it's not safe particularly safe. It doesn't feel safe. Let me step back. It doesn't feel safe to go to downtown areas because there are marches, and sometimes those get out of hand, and there's riots, and so it's this constant activation of the sympathetic nervous system. People are having trouble sleeping. People are anxious. There are more and more people that come to me that are just like feeling where the flop and freeze part, the dorsal vagal, feeling like, I don't know what to do, that helpless, hopeless, stuck feeling. But there's hope. There's hope. I start with the negative, but there's hope, as Susan and I both know.
Yes.
And that one of the key things that helps the ventral vagal be more, I can't think, attuned, is breathing. And the breath is so important. And I learned this 4-7-8 breath a long time ago, but I never really paid much attention to it. And it wasn't one that I taught. And I thought, why would you want to do that? But what I learned in just the last month is that if you practice that, and we'll do it together, Susan, if you practice that where you breathe in for 4, you hold it for 7, and you breathe out for 8, that what that's doing is training your body that when you have that kind of surprise or shock, even that happens from something outside, and even something that in your thoughts, that you go, you breathe in quickly like that. That's our normal thing. We go, and so that, now I got to get group back down. That tells our nervous system, be alert, be aware. Something's out there. There's a threat. And then with the 7, if you hold it for 7, it gives the brain time to kind of like, okay, where's the threat? Is there a threat? And then the 8 breath is making the vagus nerve feeling, safe, actually. And so you're sending the message to your body, oh, there isn't a threat, I'm safe. And so we forget to do that in times of when we're stressed or shocked. But if we can practice that so our body knows it's an automatic, because usually when there is a real threat and we take that short breath in, we continue to breathe with the upper chest and shallow breathing, and the body is like, where's the danger? Where's the danger? Where's the danger?
Right. So I think what, as I know it, as we understand it, is our brains were designed to have this fight flight response, so that when we were living as cavemen, we had that response so that we could run when there was danger. We went into this activated state.
Absolutely.
And it's not meant to be in action. It's not meant to be activated all the time.
Correct.
In the environment that we are all living in now, it is common that we feel that activated state, that we feel that fight flight state all the time. And so physiologically and emotionally, it is very trying on our system. It
Absolutely.
is very difficult. And that's why, as you said, people aren't sleeping, people aren't, all of our physiological systems are tied into this polyvagal system, if I'm correct. And I keep saying, I like to say, this tagline that we all have, we're all in this together, is actually really appropriate to the way our system works, that our entire mind and body is all in it together. And when we get activated like that, when we have emotions like fear, like grief, sadness, it's not just our mind, but it's our body and it's our digestive system, it's our sleep system, our self-regulation system. So back to what you're sharing with us about the breath, it is such a simple tool, and it's such an important way that we can get ourselves back into a state closer to a regulated state of a little more relaxation, a little more centeredness, and give our body the chance to, you're kind of telling your body it's safe, that it's okay. There isn't a threat, like you said, during that. So we breathe in 4 to the count of 4. We hold it for that count of 7. And that's when our brain has a chance to say, wait, okay, there isn't a tiger. Or wait, there isn't, I'm okay here. And then we can breathe out. And that takes less than 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
If I do the math correctly, which
depends on how slowly you breathe out, right?
That's right.
That's right. Your count of 8 is. Yeah.
Yes.
So you want to try it?
Sure. That would be great. Yes.
You want to lead it? You want me to lead it?
Why don't you lead, and I'll be your student. I'll demonstrate.
Okay. So the best way to do this, to practice doing it, is first. I'm not starting yet, but first you breathe out so your lungs are empty, and then you take that breath in, and you can even take it in with a sound if you want, and notice your body, and then I'll count you through the hold, and then count. And anybody that's doing this with us, just kind of pay attention to how your body is before and after. Okay. So breathe out.
Okay.
Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then slowly out. You can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when you're practicing it, doing it 2 or 3 times, do you notice any difference?
I do. Even in that one breath, I just notice a little bit of a change in the way my body's sitting in the chair.
Yeah, my body went down.
Yeah, I know I have that count to just not think about anything or not respond. And so there is an action that we can take any time of day, under any circumstance, to kind of self-regulate a little bit. So that's one technique. Lorna, how about some others? That's what we do. We practice tapping, which is a technique where we're stimulating the meridians and telling the body that it's safe. We're tapping, literally tapping these points in the body that help us calm the central nervous system. Right. So tapping is one, but there are also other very easy self-regulating practices. Tools. You could share another.
Sure. And one quick thing I want to say, one of the people who's doing a lot of work out there with the polyvagal theory says that, her name is Deb Dana, she says that during this time, it is really critical that we do many short self-regulation exercises all day long, because we are constantly being pulled out. Many of us, we get up in the morning, we meditate, we do our tapping, and it really kind of helps us get through the day. We might tap in between clients. I see clients online, on the phone, whatever. We would tap or do something. But for people who are, a lot of people start their day out with those kinds of things that are really good for us, but are saying, I meditate, I do this, I do that, and I'm still feeling activated all the time. So what the advice that she gave, and that I'm giving everybody, is to find something. She talks about making a menu of things that you can do that work for you, like the 4-7-8 breath. Post it on your refrigerator, post it on your bathroom mirror, and then when you are activated, do something. And she says frequently, short and frequently, 1 minute, 2 minutes. And so it's like Susan said, the tapping, that's how we met. We were talking before the call, and that we've known each other 5 or 6 years now, and we've never met in person. We've only met through phone and Zoom. And but we both are passionate about the tapping, and especially the silent tapping that the Peaceful Heart Network has taught us with the tension tapping technique, the TTT.
Yeah, yeah.
And what the research, and I love research. I've been involved in research, and I want to know about research. What the research is saying is that when we tap on these points that are points on the acupressure meridian system, when we tap on those points, we're reducing cortisol, the stress chemical. Mm-hmm. We're increasing serotonin, and actually, there's people who are interested in research. There's some pretty serious research going on with brain scans and brainwave and gene studies that actually genes that are involved in stress and stress reduction regulation are turned on and turned off. And so, sometimes I've been doing tapping for almost 30 years, and it's like, oh, there's no research. But, in the last 10 years, there's been a lot of research. There's well over 100 peer-reviewed studies, and, again, with the brain waves and the MRI studies, and all the different uses.
Yes, so, I think that, I want to jump in because I want to really emphasize 2 points that you're making. One is that recent studies are showing that this brain physiology, that the brain science is demonstrating that EFT, EMDR, other types of other techniques that do utilize the body and other ways of processing trauma, processing tension for healing and for therapeutic improvement. It goes beyond just talking. Our bodies, in order to heal, in order to sort of move out of states of stress and states of trauma, it's important to incorporate other ways of seeing, other ways of other therapy, other therapeutic approaches. So talk therapy, sometimes just talking re-traumatizes an experience, just keeps bringing it up again and again and again, and we don't always move forward or move out of the state that we're feeling. But when we do these things, as you just mentioned, like these small doses, small practices throughout the day, those are so essential right now, especially in this time where the overload of news, overload of information, overload of changes, constant changes. Are we going back to school? Are we not going back to school? Will I be able to go to work? Will I have to continue to take care of my children?
I'm going to have to tap as you're
talking about it. Well, that's it. That's the point.
Just talking about it.
Talking about it gets our physiology activated a little bit, right? So we can do these things. I was just thinking, I ran to Starbucks this morning, and I'm okay. I'm all calm in the morning, and then I go in there. And, between the masks and do I order over here? Do I order over there? Where do I stand while I'm waiting? I'm even thinking, oh my God, they got to have so many staff on. Like, how are they, are they going to stay in business? There's nobody in the place, what happened to all the people? And then I go into all of the, gosh, things have changed so much after those little experiences. As those accumulate throughout the day, it takes a toll on us. And so a best practice might be, I then get my Starbucks, I go to the car and I do that breathing exercise, or I do another, or I do some tapping. Absolutely. We can just tap in here.
Yeah. One thing I would say, and I use this a lot, is if you take just like a soft fist and you tap right in the center of your chest there over the thymus, kind of like the Tarzan place.
Yeah.
And breathe. That's going to bring all that noisy chatter down. And just doing that, listening to you, I was starting to get thinking, right. I got to go to the grocery store. Am I going to make it before the senior hours are up? When going to the grocery store, it puts us in that state, like, our ancient ancestors about going out and finding dinner.
Yeah.
And are there going to be tigers and lions and bears, oh my, and warring tribesmen? And whew, yeah. And
Yeah.
so when I go, I mean, I sit in the car beforehand and just get myself in a state where I'm not feeling like everybody in the store's a threat. I mean, I'm magnifying a little bit, but
Right, of course.
the thing, I have clients that have not been out of their house in 3 months
Yeah.
because they're afraid to go out. They have, some different kinds of health issues, or they're elderly, or so just thumping your thymus is another one.
Yeah, so let's just stay with this a second. So this thymus thump is an actual recommended practice, an energy practice, if you will, and it can, again, this thymus is located here in this region of the body, and the thymus regulates hormones. It regulates some of the systems in the body. And so when we tap here, or we do the thump under the collarbone in this area, we are, the adrenals are here. We're connecting to or soothing, or we're regulating a part of the body that is involved in these triggers that activate, cortisol. That cortisol is too much cortisol. We're constantly in that state of stress, and our levels of cortisol are constantly activated. It takes its toll physically on the body. And that's one of the other things, Lorna, that I'm trying to help people understand, is that, this is about our immune system as well, that our health, being able to self-regulate and use some of these practices and learn about how all of this affects us physiologically is a way to help build immune strength as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we can better self-regulate throughout the day, if we take these short periods to do a little exercise, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, even just the breathing, we can help our system so that we can sleep better ultimately at night. And sleep is essential, right? We can, yeah. So you can probably speak to it better than I.
Well, and one of the things I'd like to recommend is that I'm a member of the Association for Comprehensive Energy Psychology's Humanitarian Committee. And one of the things we have put together is a website, a webpage, where many of these brief techniques are demonstrated with many videos. There's also a list of, what are you doing and where you do it, but you can follow along. And most of them are 3 to 5 minutes. So these things that we've been talking about, the breathing and the tapping and the thump and the TTT are on that page. And for our listeners, it's a very simple web page. It's the letter R, the number 4, the letter R .support. Support is the end. It's not .com or any of that. So it's R4R.support. And you can go there, and it gives you can say, oh, you're angry. Here's some techniques you can do. Are you sad? Here's some techniques you can do.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And Lorna, if I know you are a coach, a trainer, and a counselor, and so your services are also available, and some of the work that you have done is available on your website. If you could tell people how to get in touch with you if they want more information or they want some support.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I know you're located in California, but it doesn't matter with our most of our listening audience, our viewing audience is here in the region of Fairfield County, but it doesn't matter if you're in California. That's one of the upsides of all of this. We're all online. And we're all able to reach one another virtually. So where can people learn more about you and your work?
Okay. So my website is Coach Minewiser, my last name. So it's coachminewiser.com. And it doesn't matter. My client, today I have a client in Dubai and a client in Ecuador and a client in Sacramento. we're going to do all of them on Zoom. So it doesn't matter.
I love it. I love it. And if people, I am locally located in Ridgefield. If people want to reach out to me, they can go to the Lighter and Brighter Wellness Facebook page, and we can go from there. But thank you so much for joining us today, Lorna. I hope we will see you again, and
thank you.
Be well.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this.
Great. Take care.
You too. Bye.